Hi guys, welcome back to my channel where I share my testimony, my healing journey, spiritual journey, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between, and nothing but authenticity. I want to talk about criticism in this video, okay? I dealt with this a lot on my journey. And like all criticism isn't bad criticism, okay? And I want to talk about discerning that, and I've been through a lot in my journey and stuff. And just learning how, I've had people, give me criticism, and I discerned that through my spirit, and and then not just that, is that someone that's valuable in your life, not even just not valuable, but like I've learned to receive, a lot of criticism. You know what I mean? I'm the kind of person that, it doesn't matter who it's coming from. If I feel that's going to apply to my life, I'm going to use that. You know what I mean? And I'll sit there, not just that, I would pray, okay? Again, and ask God, you know what I mean? And you can feel I'm really good at it because I've been through it. I've been through this process, and so I'm really trained at it. And knowing if it's good or if it's something I should throw away, you know what I mean? In life. And so, because anything that, like I said, I'm healed, involved, and I continue doing that, and I continue growing. So any criticism, and I feel that's going to benefit me and apply to my life, I'm going to take it. You know what I mean? Or like, oh, you could do that better. If I go to Christmas, this will help you, and this will help you grow more. And it'll, in this area or whatever, it's like, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe it coming from someone, any kind of criticism, I just say, I discern, you know what I mean? And so, but anyways, like I said, I have thrown away a lot of criticism. I was like, ew, that's coming from a haughty, naughty spirit. And then there's criticism and people that I don't generally hang out with or anything like that. And so, I really want to speak about that. You know what I mean? Like, cause not all criticism is good and not all criticism is bad. You know what I mean? And so just discerning, and you trust that person, is that, you know what I mean? Like, and discerning your spirit, is that, and if it is advice that, oh, I can work on that. I can, thank you. You know what I mean? And, versus a criticism, like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to say an example for that, but, my life, let's see here. Criticism, oh, you're too, bubbly, you know what I mean? Like, you should tone that down. That's bad criticism. Like, no, thank you. I love my bubbliness. I love my vibration. You know what I mean? And no, thank you. And but anyways, if it's too much for you, bye bye. Again, and that goes with another one. Going around people that will. Well, that's another video I should do. But I guess we could do criticism. We'll do both of them in this one. But and going on people that will enhance your light even more versus dim it. You know what I mean? Like, you break a generation Christmas artist, they're dimming your light. You know what I mean? You go around other people that are light, they make that light bulb go even bling. It makes it even more brighter. You know what I mean? And you want that. You know what I mean? Your energy, you want people around you that's gonna make your light even shine brighter. You know what I mean? And not dim it. You should never ever do that. You know what I mean? And if you're having to dim it, you're like, though you're not in the right crowd, you know what I mean? Or, you have to belittle your things or whatever, you know what I mean? Or you have something exciting happen to you, you know what I mean? Like, and you can't share with that person because they're like, trying to dim your light, stuff like that. You should never, ever. And that's a sign that God's telling you those are not your friend group. Those are not whatever, you know what I mean? And I learned this in my journey, you know what I mean? Because I'm a very, very bubbly person, very high vibrational person, and there's nothing wrong with it. You just got to have the right friend group, you know what I mean? Or those that are called to be in your life, Anyways, and so you should never have people that, they should be excited for your light, you know what I mean? And if they want to raise their light, they could raise their light. If they want to raise their light, they could do that, you know what I mean? But you should never, ever let that, you know what I mean? Your light is here for a purpose and stuff like that. But again, criticism and light, it's very good and important in this world. And, and it doesn't matter where you're at in the churches, outside the churches, there's a lot of false, counterfeits in this world that don't mean you well. And you know what I mean? Like, and I just share that to be careful out there. I've been through this, and, again, just trust your discernment, if I could share this, and trust, and, and just make sure that they are walking the walk, and because there's, like I said, a lot of people that could talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. You know what I mean? That's another one for narcissists. They do a lot of talking, but they don't do the walking. You know what I mean? And but anyways, and so, but yeah, just discern that criticism is good and bad, and just discerning your spirit. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Say you're coming from someone you don't like or whatever. It's like, if that's good criticism for me, I'm going to take that and I'm going to apply it to my life. You know what I mean? And I don't deny any criticism, especially when you're a high vibrational being. You constantly receiving because you want to grow. You know what I mean? And you want to be better. You know what I mean? And so, and it's all depending to in the heart. You know what I mean? And how people say it, how they present it. Okay. And so, and you'll know, you know what I mean? Like, and sometimes we could get defensive, or, right? You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to help somebody and you get really defensive, and like, and that's not good. And especially in relationships, if you have a real whole healthy relationship, you got to be able to accept criticism, you know what I mean? And coming from a good place. And of course, that's where it comes in when you find your real person or real love, you know? So you could be able to take that criticism and say, wow, this person means me well. I need to work on this. You know what I mean? This is one thing I learned with my relationship with the Lord, you know? And when he was correcting me in my life and my walk, you know what I mean? God corrects me and constantly, you know, and I receive that and I work on that, you know what I mean? And, yeah, you know, because I guess the thing is in life is trying to be the best version, you know what I mean? And, yeah, so I just want to share that video and say, God bless you guys. I love you. I hope you have a blessed day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're at, whatever you watch this video. And it is almost fall, y'all. It's my favorite time of year. Like, I love the smells, and I know it's a thing about pumpkin spice, but I just love it. I love my only time of year I go to Starbucks is pumpkin spice latte, iced pumpkin spice latte with breve, you guys. It's like pumpkin pie in a cup. And it's the only time I ever go to Starbucks, because I don't really like Starbucks anymore. I love Dutch Bros, that's my number one. But is when they have the pumpkin spice latte, you know. They have another caramel pecan, I want to try that one. But anyways, and so, and then just the smell of the leaves and the memories, you guys, it reminds me, you know, I just try to sit there and it reminds me of my mother, and like, and by the fireplace, that just like when she did her trick-or-treating, just like I try to, you know, embrace her memories, you know what I mean? It's her favorite time of year too, and just the leaves falling, and just like, oh my God, it's just so beautiful. Nature, you know what I mean? Like, it's so beautiful to take that in, and it's a gift from God. And I try to do my nature walks or my lake walks, and in the spring and the fall, you know. And anyways, life is beautiful, and I think we tend to take the small things for granted, like stuff like that, you know. And I don't, you know, and I'm excited so I could go get my latte and go take my walks and just, you know, absorb Jesus and absorb this and take the world, you know what I mean? Like, and just thank him and just give gratitude, and just, you know, for the goodness in my life, and no matter what it looks like. And, you know, anyways, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. The smell, oh my God, the fireplace, you guys, melts my heart. Yes, fall and Christmas, y'all, and Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh, and Christmas, the Christmas carols and the cookies. Oh my goodness, oh my heart. I remember, guys. I remember my mom. Just memories, you know, that my mom would make Christmas cookies, and the smell in the house. And she didn't have much. We didn't have much. She did what she could at the time she could do, you know. And you know, we at least get one gift. You know what I mean? We didn't have much, but we would at least get one gift she would give us, and make us like a dinner, and Christmas cookies in the jar she'll do with us, and popcorn on the string, and I'm very thankful for that, you guys. And I try to keep that alive, you know, and going forward, and even if it's making little cookies, you know, and eating them, and you know, in her memory. But anyways, I just want to say I love you guys. Thank you for your love and support, and I'm super pumped. I have so much to talk about too, you know, and my story and life, and but yeah, I will talk to you later. Mwah. Stay blessed.